that?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, it's some of the best footy we've played this year. In trying conditions, it wasn't pretty footy. It was all about contested ball and yardage and getting it forward. And I thought we played quite well. We pressured them and were able to get them to turn it over and go back forward. And thankfully, after quarter time, we kicked straight, which was good. So it was a good win.
Top 2 sealed now?
Top 2 sealed? No, I don't think it is. No, it's top 4 sealed. I think we're probably going to lock away top 4 spots. So I think top 2 is the next aim. Naturally, you want to give yourself every chance. So if we can, win the next 3 games and finish top 2, it'd be a fantastic result and get a couple of home finals, which would be great reward for our fans. 45,000 fans turned up yesterday. Was a fantastic effort. So we thank our fans for that. It was, a wild day weather-wise, and to get 45,000 fans out there and cheering so passionately was fantastic. So we thank them for that.
And Richie, amazing game. And I know we say it, and there were great performances all round, but a couple of those Eddie goals in particular, pretty special.
Yeah, not bad. Yeah, no, pretty standard for Eddie, I would have thought. Nothing too exciting. But I think for Eddie, to come back from an appendix, I know for myself, it knocks you about a bit, and come back only missing 1 game, and to play the way he did was sensational, a real testament to his character. And probably wasn't too surprised, to be honest, to see him kick a couple of goals from the boundary line. He loves a showdown, and what better time than to pull out a few tricks.
Having gone through the same thing yourself a couple of years ago, were you a bit surprised that he was good to go for yesterday?
Yeah, I knew he rested quite well throughout last week, and he gave himself every chance. I think it's something that if you give yourself probably 10 or 11 days to totally rest, you should feel pretty good after that. But I think for him it was just about the confidence of confident few whacks, and you feel pretty good physically. It's just internally you're still a bit sore. So I think once he hit the bump bag and felt confidence with that, I think he's right to go. And you've seen the way he played, he was 100%.
And what did you make of Sam Jacobs' match-up with Paddy Ryder and his performance?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, it's good for footy. A lot of the fans and the media talked it up throughout the week. It was a real talking point, and I know Sauce embraced the challenge. He loves playing against Big Paddy, and I thought he was exceptional. He was able to hit the scoreboard and competed really well on the ruck and around the ground. He really linked up, and it was quite damaging. And credit to him. He's now 3-time Showdown medalist, which was fantastic for the big fella, and also pushing for an All-Australian selection, I would have thought.
What about McKay and Talia? Hopefully both okay, a little bit sore?
Yeah, they'll be sore, yeah, no doubt. D-Mac copped a pretty heavy knock, a corky, which obviously couldn't play any further part, and Tales, I think, a bit sore on the adductor, but he'll give himself every chance this week to get up. He'll have a light week on the track, and we'll assess him later in the week, but he should be fine.
Was Tales a knock, or was it an incident?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. It was just a bit tight later in the game, so whether that was a knock or whatever, I'm not too sure, but he tells me he never misses, so I'm pretty sure he'll be pretty keen to get up next week.
Showdowns are usually pretty renowned for being really tightly contested, regardless of where the two sides are on the ladder. Were you really pleasantly surprised by how much of a blowout it ended up being?
Yeah, probably the margin at the end was definitely surprising. I mean, there's still tight, hard tussles in close. With the conditions, it was still quite physical and all that sort of thing. So, but certainly the scoreline in the end was probably a bit surprising. But they're a good side, and they'll bounce back. They've got a lot to play for, so I'm sure we haven't seen the end of Port Adelaide yet.
Richie, despite this,
reckon this is your best shot at it in your time at the club?
Oh, potentially. I mean, we probably need to keep winning and lock away a top 2 spot to give ourselves the best chance. In saying that, the competition's so even. We've seen last year you can win it from anywhere, so we're certainly by no means think we guaranteed to win it or anything like that. We've got a lot of hard work to do. We need to keep improving. We've played some good footy over the last month, but we understand that we can't sit still. We need to keep improving our footy to get to where we want to go.
You've always had that really good top end talent at the club, but maybe the difference this year is those players, say 15 to 22, maybe the bottom 6 or 8 are a lot maybe better than what they were. During your time here when you last really challenging for the flag? Yeah,
it's probably a fair call. I mean, and I think that's just maturity of our group over the last probably 2 to 3 years. We've played a lot of footy together now. I don't think we've got too many guys under 50 games, so there's that element of maturity, and we sort of know each other's games pretty well. But you see that it's more than just your 22 blokes that win premierships, it's your whole list. So we need to call on blokes that are probably outside of the team at some stage throughout the remainder of the year. But I think from yesterday's result, just showed how good our 22 were, and we didn't really have any standouts as such, but the whole weight of numbers from each and every player was outstanding.
Even guys like Keith and Greenwood who have come in recently, like they're obviously 25 years of age and had a lot of experience at high level sport, other levels.
Exactly. Yeah, no, that's a really good point. They perform under pressure, and that's what we love about those two guys. They've obviously played, as you said, different sports at the highest level as well, and they're elite athletes, and they've been quite incredible in the way they've gone about it this year, from where they've come from, and it's a fantastic story for those boys. But as I said, we need all 22 blokes playing their role and playing at that high level that we got yesterday to get to where we want to go.
Mate, Don said you can play a bit better. How does that improvement come about, and where does it come from?
Probably goal kicking. I think 1-9 in the first quarter is probably not going to get it done in most games. So that's probably one example, but we can still, I think, probably sharpen up going forward a bit. We had 81 inside 50s, and probably botched a few of those, but he's probably. We play quite well, but we obviously still need to get better, and we can get better.
Coach is saying he's never happy, really, isn't it?
No, they're never happy, but that's good. You've got to keep us in check.
Richie, as a senior player and as a team itself, you've won 4 out of 5 on top of the ladder. How do you put keep that form going when you've got speculation about players, Lever and McGovern and Charlie Cameron possibly leaving the club at the end of the year?
Oh, look, we're not too concerned about that. We're hungry to be the best we can be, and we want to finish top 2, and then we want to start the big season again and see how far we can get. We think our best footy's good enough, and we've got a really strong group who's hungry, and we've achieved nothing yet. Let's not make any mistakes about that. We're sitting top of the ladder. We've played some good footy, yeah, but we need to keep playing some good footy for the back half of the year, and if we can do that, we'll get what we're after.
You probably don't have much time to see it on the ground because you're so focused on where the footy is, but when some clown runs on the ground, is there any concern for the players' safety?
It's always in the back of your mind, yeah. I mean, it's not ideal. You get clowns like that, as Fake said, but I think the security dealt with it pretty well, and he was off the field without getting too close to the action. So we'll leave that with stadium management. I'm sure they're all over it.